Hi, everybody. Todd Dammit Kearns here from Slash featuring Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators. Took Heroes and Monsters. You're watching CMS TV.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. Red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. Ow!
If they really wanted to end sex trafficking and porn, it would have been made illegal yesterday.
Stop it.
Please, what are you talking about? Look, I struggle with these kind of things all the time because, look, sex trafficking is horrible. Dear God, man. You know, these kids and stuff like that, especially like illegals coming, taking children and sex crimes, all this kind of, it's terrible. But legitimate porn, legitimate even, I would say, prostitution. What's wrong with it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there are plenty of lonely guys out there who don't have any, significant other, can't go to a bar and just pick up a girl, aren't going to be able to get anybody. They're just lonely and they're sad and would love to have a relationship even for an hour or two.
Sure.
And what's wrong with somebody who's a legitimate age and, not a drug addict or something like that who wants to do this as a living? I mean, I don't see any problem with that. Same thing with the porn industry. You want to do that for a living? I mean, hell, I wish I was endowed enough to be able to do that for a living.
Dude, this is going to sound ridiculous, and I'm looking right now to make sure I can put it on the screen, and it is all text, so I can. But so yesterday, while I was on Pornhub or X videos rather, there's a banner at the top of the X videos page that talks about the scam of age verification, because I guess they're coming after all the porn companies that in order to look at the porn you have to do age verification.
Well, I told you when I was in Tennessee,
Mm-hmm.
popped up on my phone. You needed some sort of whatever to log in.
It's really interesting that then like a day later I see this. So I actually went to their blog and read the blog, and they do make some good points about it's legal, but yet you're going to cost the porn industry 90% of its business by doing this. And you're going to push expense to the porn industry for no real reason. Because parents don't police their kids, basically. That's really what you're going to do by having this. And it's, it's fascinating. If anybody wants to, if you can handle the porn part of it, go to xvideos.com, and right at the top there's a banner. You click the banner, it takes you to this page to read this story. But it's a fascinating, I don't know that I agree with all of it, but it talks very much about how they're coming with the age verification and how it's unconstitutional and how it's just, it's crippling a legal business.
Yeah, and I mean, there's gonna be a lot of guys that when they have to like have their IDs and stuff ready to go, they're not gonna want to do stuff like that for fear of being found out or whatever. I mean,
well,
I guess
I'm gonna go the other way. I know look, I surf a ton of porn. I love porn. That being said, I also understand that most of the people that run porn are not the most above board individuals in the world, we'll say. I know they're kind of scuzzy.
Yeah.
I know that they're scuzzy because I'm scuzzy. That's why I'm looking at porn. That being said, do I want to give my driver's license information to them?
Right.
I don't. So then what's going to happen? What will happen out of that is there'll be a third party that does the verification. Know who's going to run that? The government. Do you want the government? Do you want to be the one to tell the government, yeah, I'm looking to look at porn. Here's all my credentials.
Right. Here's my ID, my license number, social security number.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I'm doing this to look at porn.
Right.
So the next time there's an Amber Alert, what are they going to do? They're going to look for all the people through their database that have verified that they look at porn in that Amber Alert, and they're going to start banging on doors.
Oh, yeah.
You're literally going to be guilty before you're proven guilty. No thank you. I want nothing to do with this verification. What is that nonsense?
Porn stars get recruited and groomed when they are 12. Look, I think that's
nobody's
awful.
saying that. And when they get found out, the groomers get taken down. I mean, that's just part of the game.
God. Kill them.
Yeah, I'm for that. Kill them.
They say there's a precedent for this because you have to show ID to watch an X-rated movie at a theater.
Yeah, what theaters are showing X-rated movies these days? Yeah. Stop it. You know what this is going to do? It's just like everything else. It's going to push it underground. And when it gets underground, then it gets real nasty.
Then you're going to have serious problems.
Yeah. At least with it just up above board and people being comfortable talking about it, it's like nobody's that worried about. Nobody is really that worried about porn, about legitimate porn. And look, in any of the porn worlds, of course, you're going to have some scumbags. But we are in an age where they're literally going to be making AI porn of 12-year-old girls shortly. And then you're going to have all that out there as well, which is not technically against the law because it's not real.
Yeah, I mean, man.
That's way worse than this.
How are we putting this segment on the radio?
What? We're not saying any bad words. We're not saying any. We're not talking about any actions or anything.
I was scrolling through like reels and stuff on Facebook the other day, right? Mm-hmm. And this super good-looking girl popped up on my one of the reels. Mm-hmm. Right, just dance or whatever, and you look down to see like what it is or who posted it or whatever, and it just says AI generated blah blah blah.
Sure.
I think it's an AI generated Alexis or whatever they named the girl.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
There, and you're going, oh my God, that's not a real girl. that's fake. Mm-hmm. Going, man, they're getting so good with this stuff that you don't know what's what. Back in the day, man, you used to know, like, you watch crazy, stupid videos, and it would be like, Wilma Flintstone naked and stuff like that. You know what's real and what's not. This, you don't know what's real anymore.
No. Dude, X Videos is promoting AI porn. They literally have a banner ad that runs before some of the videos that says, AI porn is here. Like, you're supposed to be excited about that. It's like, all right,
crazy, man. But there's going to be people out there going, okay, well, I can't get in trouble for this, so I'll
Yes.
whatever it is.
But it's going to fuel the underground. If they start trying to do this kind of stuff where they're going to get government influence on porn, you are going to see it go. You're going to see it all get. Not that a lot of it isn't dark web anyway, but you're going to see it all go dark web, and it's harder to catch those people on the dark. It's kind of the underbelly of the internet that's like not as common.
I understand that, but I've never is it a different thing? You could look up dark web stuff.
Yeah, yeah, there is. There's a different browser and a different. There's different ways to get to the dark web than there are. You don't go to the. You don't generally. I don't want to say you can't, but you don't generally hit the sites on the dark web from your Google Chrome browser.
Well, that's what I was wondering. I don't know.
Yeah, you have to use
I've always
Tor
heard
or
this
stuff like that.
about the dark web, this, that, and the other thing. I don't know. How do you get to
It's exactly what you think. It's a seedy underworld that most people don't know about. That's what the dark web is. And that's where you get all the people that are, selling kids across the internet or snuff films or hiring hits and, all the stuff that's really, really dark.
So it's not a place to go.
No. Hey, it's Chris Akin from the classic metal show Chris Akin Presents and the Seth Williams Show, straight from the uncensored heart of the CMS network. We've just been crowned a certified Rumble creator, and that means we're bringing the heat. All our shows, commercial free, baby. Advanced episode drops, sometimes months before the normal release, so you're not stuck waiting. You'll get all this plus exclusive content for Rumble Premium subscribers that'll blow your mind. And with Rumble Premium, you'll get every CMS Network show and all of Rumble's other videos with no ads and no fluff. This is our official home, Rumble. It's raw, powerful, and unfiltered. You want in? Just hit us up at rumble.com/register/classic metal show to sign up for free commenting, chat live, and just your ability to join the chaos of all of our shows. Then while you're there, swing by any of our videos, smash that Rumble Premium button, and level up. Subscribe now. Don't sleep on this. Hit the link in the description.
Remember,
A lot of people go there if they want to get it's not only pornographic. It's also a lot of people that are turned down by their insurance company to get certain medications and stuff. Yeah. They'll go to the dark web and they'll find some seedy underground broker that'll sell them the medicine that they need and they can't get from their doctor.
Oh wow!
It's where illegal. Basically, I'm not saying this as a blanket statement, but universally or mostly, any illegal digital activity tends to happen on the dark web first.
Remember a website called LiveLeak where you could watch beheadings and people getting burned alive? I remember stuff like that.
And ogrish.com and I remember watching those when they started grabbing our journalists. I watched those beheadings.
I've seen them too. So being an IT person, do you ever stumble across these kind of things?
No, it's not hard to avoid the dark web. I know of it. I know how to get to it. I do not use it. I'm not gonna use it.
Why using it? I'm just saying, in your work as IT guy.
Yeah, the worst I've ever had, and I'll tell it. This is a funny story. I'll have to tell it sort of I'll have to clean it up a little bit. We had what's going on here? Here we go. We had a customer. He had his hard drive die. And he hired us to bring his hard drive to get his data off his hard drive. He had 10 years of data or something on his hard drive. Older guy, probably in his 60s. This is 20 years ago. We have some tools where we can access a fairly dead hard drive and pull off the data. So this was when my son was young. My son was 13, 14, and I was paying him to do some of these little things teaching him IT more or less. So he gets into this hard drive and he's pulling off data. He pulls off thousands of porn pictures. from this guy, and this guy was like a deacon in his church or whatever.
Of
And,
course.
and like all of it was like granny porn. It was all granny porn. It was horrendous. And we were just, and then I had to actually figure out how to tell this guy, well, here's your data. And I didn't even mention it. I just put it all on a disc and I said, well, here's your data, sir. That'll be $300 or whatever it was. But I just pretended like we didn't find any of that. I was just like, oh, we found your project files. Done.
Nice.
And there's some other stuff on here too. I don't know what it is, but you can
But
look
if
it
there
up.
is a dark web, are there people monitoring it to see what's going on, to like take people down and stuff? I mean,
There always
they
is,
know
I'm
that
sure.
it's there.
I'm positive that every police precinct in the nation probably has people that monitor the internet and certainly the dark web as well. But it's harder to monitor that. It's all encrypted, or a lot of it is encrypted. Even the browser, they use what's called the Tor browser, mostly Tor, and that's all encrypted. So connections are encrypt to encrypt. So it's harder to find where people are if they're doing illegal activity. It's not as simple. Obviously, the government has better tools than we do, but
Yeah.
I mean, you see them every once in a while. I mean, dude, they probably don't advertise it a whole lot, but when you see stings go down and stuff, most of that stuff in those stings comes from the dark web. Like when they're trying to traffic a 14-year-old kid or something.
Right.
It'll happen on the dark web, and they'll put out an announcement. Hey, if you're looking to grab a 15-year-old boy,
Jesus.
bring 10 G's and show up at this gazebo in this park or whatever. And that's how the cops sting them a lot of times. I'll bet you anything, guy Chris Hansen could tell you everything about the dark web.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm sure he's well aware of how that works. I'm sure half of the stings that they do, if it's not dummies like most of them that are on their phone saying, yeah, baby, I'll bring the Zima.
Right.
If it isn't those dummies, a lot of it's probably on the dark web.
I keep looking at the phone because they're talking about whether Diddy, it's going to come down soon, I think, whether Diddy's going to be released or not.
He's going home. Come on. What, you think they're going to make him do another 3 years? Get out of here.
The government is saying that he is still a danger and requests that he remains behind bars until sentencing.
Yeah, that's nonsense. He's going home.
Dude, if you're not found guilty of serious charges, then you should be able to go home, I guess.
Then you're innocent.
I don't think that, I don't believe it, but I guess.
I don't either.
You should. Mm-hmm. But if you're found innocent, you got to go.
Yeah, it's your right to go. I don't want to believe that either, but unfortunately. He's so high profile, though. I mean, how dangerous can somebody that high profile after this be, really? Everywhere he moves is going to be seen and heard and monitored, I would imagine.
If I was him, I'd just take off to an island somewhere and release an album.
Well, the Epstein Island's open.
Yeah, have the money just go into my bank, and I'll just never come back over here again.
Yep, exactly.
Because as many people that are going to love him, man, he's going to get some people that really hate him, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, Cody hitting it on the head. People used to order drugs on the dark web, and it would show up at their house like an Amazon package. Yep.
What is it, a jury trial or a judge trial? It was a jury trial.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, they were stuck on at least the RICO charge.
Yeah.
That was the other thing, is that the government seemed to play their hand wrong here on the charges for this guy. They overcharged. They didn't go after the right charges. They should have done this. They should have done that. This thing is a mess. And
They should have brought individual cases.
yeah.
Because if they would have brought 5 RICO charges or 5 different charges with 5 different victims or something, you're more likely to get the one home run conviction. But instead, they lumped it all together. Yeah, I agree with you, Habu. Seth, don't be tempted to explore the dark web.
I'm always tempted to do stuff like that. Though.
Don't do that.
To see what everything is all about.
You can't even avoid buying pots that you won't use. I can't imagine what you'd buy on the dark web.
What is it? You think what am I going to buy there? You think I'm buying
I don't know.
drugs and have them shipped to the house?
I don't know.
I'm not exactly buying children, dude. I mean, I'm not that kind of guy.
They might offer you a brand new the Lamborghini of fake legs, and you won't realize that they had to kill somebody to get it.
Well, if they did to kill me, if I get the leg, right? That's not. What did I do?
You're still buying that property from illegal means.
I mean, now we're talking about something I would buy, though. I mean, like a really cool.
That's what I'm saying. Don't be
prosthetic
tempted.
leg.
Avoid that dark web like the plague.
I don't.
Look, I'm an IT guy, and I avoid the dark web like the plague.
I'm certainly not that kind of individual. People should know that by now. I got a wife and a kid, and I have a bunch of pots and pans to use. I'm not going to the dark web. But I've heard about it. I just don't know what it's about. I mean, you hear a lot of stuff, but it's not like it's just there. It's not like you type in dark web and then hit a button and go.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. That's all you need in your browser history. How do I access the dark web?
Right.
Hey, why is there guys in uniform knocking at my door? What is that? Black suits. That's true,
How
too.
about this? There you go. Breaking news.
Yes.
Diddy to remain in prison until sentencing.
Oh, wow. No kidding. It's a surprise.
That is what is being reported by Fox.
That is a surprise.
Diddy denied bail after sex crimes conviction.
Shocking.
You know what it is, probably? The judge probably didn't agree with the decision.
Could be. Could be. He's like, why did these stupid jurors get a say?
Yeah, Seth will watch Star Wars porn on the dark web. Now that I might
Watch
do.
that on the regular web. There's plenty of Princess Leia porn out there.